Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Well, we have made it to Friday. Thanks for finishing your week with us here on the Noon News. I'm Samantha Sullivan. President Trump's former campaign chairman received a 47-month prison sentence after being convicted on fraud and tax evasion charges. The sentence was much lighter than the sentencing recommendations for that type of crime. His lawyer and the president said that proves there was no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Nicole Killian has some more details from the White House.
President Trump is defending his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, who was just sentenced to prison.
I feel very badly for Paul Manafort. I think it's been a very, very tough time for him.
Thursday, Judge T.S. Ellis called the recommended sentence of 19 to 24 years for fraud and tax evasion excessive and handed Manafort a term of nearly 4 years. That's even less time than Manafort's own attorneys asked for.
What you saw today is the same thing that we had said from day one. There is absolutely no evidence that Paul Manafort was involved with any collusion with any government official from Russia.
That comment did not go unnoticed by the president.
His lawyer went out of his way, actually, to make a statement last night. No collusion with Russia. There was absolutely none.
Before departing for Alabama, President Trump would not answer a question about whether he would pardon Mr. Manafort. Instead, he focused on his former attorney, Michael Cohen.
Michael Cohen lied about the pardon. That was a stone-cold lie. And he's lied about a lot of things, but when he lied about the pardon, that was really a lie.
President Trump tweeted that Michael Cohen asked the president himself for a pardon, and Trump said no. That would directly contradict Cohen's testimony to Congress last week.
I have never asked for, nor would I accept, a pardon from President Trump.
A lawyer for Cohen said his statement was true, but he acknowledged his client directed his legal team last spring to talk to President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, about the possibility of a pardon. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Michael Cohen responded on Twitter to say that the president's claim he asked for a pardon is a lie. In other news this afternoon, an explosion at the Calumet refinery in Great Falls is still under investigation today. Emergency responders battled 2 fires sparked by the explosion on Thursday afternoon. All roads within a half-mile radius of the refinery were blocked. Schools were put on high alert and businesses close to the refinery were evacuated. No injuries were reported, and so far there's no word on what caused that explosion. And more on a story we've been following since yesterday. Officials at Montana State University in Bozeman are inspecting campus buildings after a roof of one of the university's fitness centers collapsed. The collapse was at the South Gym and was first reported around 2:30 Thursday morning. Authorities are now trying to figure out what caused the roof to crumble. All buildings connected to the South Gym will be closed until university officials have a chance to do a full assessment. They'll also check on other surrounding buildings to make sure they weren't impacted by that collapse. University students and faculty will be updated on the investigation and cleanup via social media. No injuries were reported. And although we don't know the official cause of that roof collapse, with the heavy snowpack this winter, home and business owners are advised to know the warning signs of potential damage. In fact, the state requires all buildings to meet certain standards when constructed to prevent structural damage from snowpack. According to FEMA, 1 foot of snow depth can range from 3 to 21 pounds per square foot, depending on the moisture content. Montana code requires a minimum snow load of 30 pounds per square foot for new buildings. Structural engineer Aubrey Yeager says a roof collapse is relatively uncommon, but people should be concerned if they see sagging in the roof, new cracking in the interior, or water leaks or ice dams.
Especially as we're starting to get into those warmer temperatures, ice dams that have accumulated near the edge of your roof, that would prevent snow from sliding off.
Yeager says if people are concerned about the amount of snow on their roof, they should contact a contractor to remove it to make sure there's no accidental damage. In other news this afternoon, a Missoula woman accused of helping 2 people dispose kill 2 people and dispose of their bodies in chemicals, changes her plea. Tiffany Pierce faces felony charges of murder and robbery. She pled guilty in a deal with the Missoula County Attorney's Office on Thursday. Pierce and Augustus Standing Rock are charged in the murders of Jackson Wiles and Marlon Pickett back in August of 2017. The pair is accused of putting the bodies in tubs of acid. Attorneys say the recent suicide of a key witness accelerated the plea deal. And take a look at this. A 20-car pileup snarled interstate traffic Thursday evening near Bozeman. This is video from a motorist passing by who saw it firsthand. It happened around 4:30 on I-90 near Belgrade in the westbound lanes. At least 11 cars were involved in the pileup, plus 8 slide-offs. The forecast shows a brief snowstorm hit the area, creating whiteout conditions and slick and icy roadways. Cars began to hit each other, and then there was just a domino effect. The extent of injuries for everyone involved is still unknown. An emergency meeting is scheduled to take place today in Red Lodge as 40 homes go without water due to frozen pipes and the recent sub-zero temperatures. Mayor Bill Larson says the city has a plan to get water to those affected. The mayor says normally about 5 or 6 homes get frozen pipes every year, but in the last couple of weeks, those numbers have gone way up. It's happening in the branch line between the water main and the homes. Bottled water for drinking and 5-gallon buckets of water for toilets are available at the fire hall for residents who have been affected. The city will deliver to those who don't have transportation. It's also recommended to run a small stream of water to help prevent any more freezing. The mayor discussed the issue with the Public Works Director on Thursday.
He felt that it was almost to an emergency level. After we had our meetings, we knocked that down to, let's just take care of our people, keep them hydrated, make sure that they have what they need. A lot of them are going to friends and families' homes, going to their neighbors, running hoses from the neighbor's home to their house so that they can maintain living in their residence.
Today's emergency city council meeting will take place at 1 o'clock. Well, now we'll turn things over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it outside, we're getting closer to spring, and daylight savings time is actually a sign of that.
We've got all the signs. We got all the frozen pipes, and we're talking about the multicolor pileups on icy roads. So let's talk about something that makes you feel like a little warmer weather will show up. It's time to turn our clocks ahead 1 hour on Saturday night. Love it or hate it, daylight saving time is here, and well, we gain a little more afternoon and evening sunshine. Will we gain anything on the temperatures? We'll take a closer look at that coming up in a few minutes. There's still some more snow to talk about. We'll discuss who's going to get hit with that with the complete forecast details several minutes from now.
All right, thanks, Ed. Well, a moose and calf decided to take a stroll around downtown Missoula today. The Missoula Police Department sent out an alert this morning after the animals were seen near East Pine Street. Authorities cautioned to not approach the animals and to give them plenty of distance. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks ended up responding to the area. We are told they tranquilized the adult moose so that it could be removed from the area for both its safety and the safety of residents. Earlier this week, a warning was issued after a moose and calf had been seen in several places around Missoula, including an area park. Well, coming up here on the Noon News, lawmakers are back in Helena, and one of their first orders of business is tackling the budget. The latest from the Capitol when we come back. But first, Ed joins us with a look towards the weekend. The full forecast right after the break.
Watching MTN News with Samantha Sullivan, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and Farm and Ranch News from the Montana Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.